up the Red Sox. 6 runs, 11 hits, leading to a victory in Game 1 of this 3-game set in division play. Tonight, the Orioles will try and guarantee themselves a series win. If they can do it, it'll be their 4th in a row against the Red Sox. Fenway Park's the site. The Orioles have won 6 against Boston. Can they make it 7? It's the Orioles on Masson, and Fenway Park is the site. What a difference in the weather. Last night, tornado warnings, a beautiful sky, but dangerously so. Tonight, magnificent summer evening. Orioles, Red Sox, Game 2 of the 3-game set. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome for the Orioles. They have won 6 in a row now against Boston. They're looking for another series win here in this game. What did Buck Showalter talk about during spring training? We asked him. Buck Showalter said, I want my pitchers to get 18, 19, or 20 outs. If they can do that, if they can have that kind of an improvement, that will save our bullpen. So, Buck, what have they done so far? We asked him, and these are the numbers that he showed us. The Orioles starters on the season. You see Wei and Chen with a 19-out average. Gonzalez is at 18. Jimenez, Tillman, Wright, and Norris in that order. In the last 16 games, only 4 starts of 6+ innings. So the bullpen has really been tested here over the last month. So I'll ask Jim Palmer, as you look at that, are they doing what he wanted?
Well, kind of. If you looked at Bud Norris, who's going to pitch tonight, last year he wins 15 games. He wins on the road. First time he's ever had a winning record. Never won here at Fenway. But there were some numbers, real low runners in scoring position numbers. One of his better games was his last game. That was on the road, but he loses 2-1. They didn't score him a lot of runs. I think, all in all, they're getting back to where they were. April was not a good month, very much like 2014 for the Orioles starters. Chen probably has pitched as well as anybody. They don't get him a lot of runs. Last year they got him a bunch of runs. So I think everything's kind of falling into place. But the reason you want your starters to get you 18, maybe 19 outs is saving the bullpen for September. The bullpen's been magnificent. Starters can make them even better.
When the Orioles return back home, the Gnome will be given out this weekend. You do not want to miss it. Jim Palmer, what do you think?
Buck, good seeing you. See you after the game.
See ya. Baseball coming up next. Speaking of bullpen, there's a guy by the name of Rowe. He's done outstanding work for Buck Showalter, gnome or not. When we come back, we will talk with Mr. Rowe. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. Back here at Fenway, an opportunity before the game to talk with Chaz Rowe. Buck Showalter really likes what he's seeing out of this right-hander in the bullpen. You see the numbers on the season, that opponent batting average at just 167. His career, the 3-0 mark, very good ERA. He lives in Lexington, Kentucky, a beautiful city. So I asked Chaz this afternoon, how did you end up there?
My dad played football at UK. So he went there and played football, and then we moved back to Ohio, and I was born in Ohio, and then ended up, he liked it a lot, so we moved back to Kentucky, and we ended up in there ever since.
I love Lexington, do you?
Oh, it's beautiful, and it keeps growing. You know, they're doing really good things in that city.
It's noted, obviously, for the bluegrass and the horses. I mean, great race horses. Is that still as much alive there as it's ever been?
Definitely, especially in Keeneland. You know, Keeneland starts in October, I believe, and it's 3 weekends. And it's unbelievable. It draws unbelievable.
You have any interest in horses?
I do. I actually like going. I don't bet a lot, but I like going and watching it and having a group of guys out there. It's a lot of fun.
Do you ride at all?
No, never rode.
Don't do that. Your contract says you can't do that. All right. How about how's it going in the bullpen? Buck says a lot of very positive things about you. He's put you in situations that matter. How you feel?
Comfortable. You know, I'm feeling very comfortable out there right now, and just being able to get the opportunity to go out there and pitch, it's definitely boosting my confidence, putting me in those situations.
We hear a lot from the guys in the bullpen about the camaraderie out there. Can you speak to that a little bit?
It's unreal. You know, we all mesh really well. We get to bounce things off each other. We learn from each other every day, and just pick each other's brains. So,
what are you working on?
Right now, I'm working on a changeup. Just another pitch to get a lefty out. It's work in progress, but it's getting there.
Circle, regular?
Regular, yeah, just a regular change. I've tried a bunch of different grips, but it's still a comfortable thing, trying to get comfortable with it.
Who was your primary mentor as far as pitching is concerned along the way? If I say, who taught you how to pitch, what would you say?
I mean, growing up, my dad and my brother were a big part of that. My brother pitched, and he actually wanted to taught my slider. And I fiddled around with it a little bit, and then ended up being pretty good, so I stuck with it. And then once I got the pro ball, just a bunch of different guys. Just can't really pick out one. Just a bunch of different guys I got to talk to, bounce ideas off, and just learned everything along the way.
Do you find most pitchers are willing to share what they have?
Absolutely. I mean, they're to a certain point, but be able to pick somebody's brain, it helps you out a lot, especially some of these older guys, the veterans, and it definitely helps you.
When did you have a sense that this was a year you might, in fact, be here and be up here for a while?
Tell you the truth, I didn't. I came in here, and like I said, I came in here as a great opportunity, and I did okay in spring training, and then started out a little rough in AAA, and then once I started hitting my stride, and I got called up, and that's when I knew.
Chaz, it's great to have you here and doing a heck of a job for the bullpen. We appreciate it, and thanks for sharing Lexington.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Chaz Rowe. And we may see Chaz again in this ball game pitching. All right, let's take a look at our BGE home game time temperature in this beautiful evening. 83 degrees, humidity way down. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Here's the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare at southwest.com. Machado, Parmalee, and Paredes, Davis, Hardy, and Snyder, Flaherty, Joseph, and Lowe. J.J. Hardy having an outstanding month of June.
And Clay Buchholz soon in August turned 31. A lot of fastballs, but cutters, you can throw the cutter right in with that number, 68. So anywhere between 80, maybe 87, 93. Breaking ball, he's got a big curve ball, also a slider, change up. Boy loves to throw that, a very effective pitch. So again, don't let the record fool you. They do not score a lot of runs for him. That could change because the Red Sox offense has been a lot better as of late. You can see righties hit him better than lefties. And again, the one thing I look at is they're getting him 3.45 runs per game, and a lot of times that does not allow you to win games maybe you should win. And he's not going to walk you. You got to go all the way back to the 10th of May when he's walked more than 2. So he'll throw a lot of strikes, and he's probably the anti-Joe Kelly, who the Orioles saw last night, where, yeah, he can throw pretty hard, not as hard as Kelly, but he's a pitcher where Kelly was more of a thrower.
Against the Orioles this year, only one start. He took the loss. He gave up 2 runs, 11 hits, and 6 innings in that ball game, and another one of those close games, 2-1. So the Orioles go after the right-hander in this middle game of the 3-game set. Manny Machado leads it off, 5-game hit streak. He extended it last night with a 2 for 5. Goes after the first pitch and will foul it back, and we are underway. Manny just continues to climb as far as the average is concerned. Machado now has 30 hits and 16 RBIs in his last 16 ball games. I mean, he has been unstoppable out of that leadoff spot. There's another one, a base hit, and he will extend the streak to 6 and just keeps on hitting.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. It changes from night to night. Ramirez in left, he's kind of a constant. Betts in center. Diaza, last night it was Holt, he moves to first base. Sandoval, Bogarts, Pedroia, Gold Glover, and then Sandy Leon because of injuries. Second straight night he's catching. He put on a clinic as far as throwing runners out and picking off runners last night. Very, very good night, and also threw in a hit.
And Chris Parmelee will stand in. Parmelee getting another start in right field. The infield will shift on him. Sandoval will stay between short and third at third base. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Parmelee getting a lot of starts now with the bat continuing to produce some RBIs for the Orioles. This will be his 7th start in right field. Good average against the right-handers. On at first base, Machado, and a quick throw over against Buchholz. Base stealers are 2 for 4 on the year. Leon working behind the plate, 7 out of 12 caught.
Yeah, I remember, and of course he's very tough to run off of both pitcher and catcher. But when he came up, Jacoby Ellsbury wasn't a Yankee. And the 2 guys that were the most athletic guys on their roster were Buchholz and Ellsbury. Maybe Ellsbury a touch faster. Again, he's very quick. He's got good fast feet. Again, not much of a high leg kick, so very difficult to run on. Hence, only 4 attempts.
This is where you want to get to, Buchholz. A big difference between working out of the stretch and working out of the windup. When the bases are empty, opponents hit 224 with somebody on 326. Pitch will be way up high. Leon coming up quickly. Thought there might be a chance Manny Machado would take off there, and a 2-ball 1 strike count on Parmelee.
Yeah, I would think Manny would like to leave that hole open for Chris Parmelee. And we saw him last night. He tripled down the right field line. Next time up, slice one the opposite way, right into the left field corner. But he'd love to be able to, in this kind of ballpark, where you can create the first and third situation if the ball's hit into right field.
First base side of the rubber, runner not going. That one an off-speed pitch. It'll go into the seats. Parmelee trying to wait on that. And you will see a lot of that out of Buchholz when he is on. Off-speed pitches have been a primary source of his outs so far this season. Parmelee checking down at third with Bobby Dickerson as Manny Machado at first looks over as well. But Showalter's team now 37 and 33. Started the day 2.5 out. Come in 2 out. Because Tampa Bay was beaten today by the Jays. We'll talk about it later on. So the Orioles a chance to pick a game up on them. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Machado not running. Out in front of it again. Fouled off again.
Yeah, there's that changeup. So his fastball is going to be 91, and maybe he'll touch 93. He'll cut it at 87. Curveball will probably be in the low 80s, and then the changeup was 79 miles per hour. So the master of changing speeds when he's on his game.
And the offensive numbers way down when that changeup's working. Opposing teams hitting only 109 off the changeup. So you can see why he will throw a lot of those in the course of a game, keep mixing it up a little bit. He's concerned about Manny Machado over there. That's another thing, of course, Manny's done with the 11 for 12 in steals. He's forced pitchers to have to keep an eye on him over there, and it seems as though he's on all the time. 2-2 count, runner goes. Here's the throw. Leon, it's there, and he's out. Boy, was that on the money. Shortstop Bogarts with a tag.
Yeah, so they don't leave the hole open, and they try to run, and it's almost like he didn't pay attention. He did not get a very good jump. And I think the one thing, in the minor leagues, Manny stole 13 bases. You talked about it last night, Gary. Fully healthy, both legs, both knees operated on. But the surprise element is going to get less and less. So again, especially Leon can flat out throw.
Parmalee will hit one deep but foul.
So again, if you're Clay Buchholz, part of it is that you held him well. Part of it is you get your catcher the ball in a hurry, and the other part is leadoff base hit. You're going, boy, I don't want to have a big inning, and that certainly helps out right there.
It really helps Cause take that leadoff man on base. How much did a couple of throws over there matter to hold him? Never know, but it has to make a difference. Fouled away by Parmalee. For Clay Buchholz against the Orioles in his career, he is 9-5. He has a .381 earned run average. Here at Fenway Park against the Orioles, he is 4-3, but his ERA is 2.78. Pitching here in Boston against the O's. A 3-ball, 2-strike count. Parmalee battling in this first at bat. Inside out to short, got spin. Bogaerts has it, and the out. 2 down.
Yeah, Buchholz, of course, he came up towards the end of 2007. Second game was against the Orioles, and that was the no-hitter. Next year, and he went 3-1. They wanted to back him off because of all the innings. And, pretty much AA, AAA. The next year, he goes from being 3-1 to 2-9. He has to go back to the minors, and then revamp his windup, which he did. And we talked about athleticism. Came back, and when he is healthy, he's a tough customer.
He's got 2 down here in the first inning. And a swing and a miss on a pitch up high. Jimmy Paredes comes in with a 3-game hit streak. Paredes has been hot enough to move into the top 10 averages in the American League. He starts the day in the number 7 spot in average. And the reason, of course, he shows up now is he's back having qualified with enough at bats on the season, so he's back listed as number 1 with runners in scoring position again.
Yeah, and this is the kind of young hitter that Buchholz can mess with because his ability to change speeds.
That's going to be a base hit. It'll go down the right field line slowly. De Aza over to get it, and it will hold him to a single. So the Orioles have got a couple of hits off Buchholz, but 2 down and 1 on.
Yeah, nice at bat right there. Started him off with a changeup, came back with a curveball, another changeup, and well, we've seen Jimmy Paredes much better hitter over the last 3 weeks because he's kind of put him, I guess, a governor on that swing. And a little bit out of control. He was hitting so well. Now totally much more in control swing.
Shift will be put on against Chris Davis. They will send Pablo Sandoval, the third baseman, over to the second base side of the bag and leave Bogaerts on the left side of the infield. Chris Davis has got a 3-game hit streak as well coming in. Inside corner strike to him. He has hit Buchholz hard, as have a number of the Orioles. In his career, he's 7 for 22 and has 2 home runs against him. This Orioles lineup, for the most part, has done well, at least batting average wise, against Buchholz. 0-1, the throw over again, and Paredes back to the bag. Chris continues to be on top in the RBI department for the Orioles, but only by 1. He's got 40, and Manny Machado now at 39, the top 2 for the O's. Oh, 0-1 delivery by Buchholz, and off the fists and back. 0-2 count. Buchholz comes in 10th in the American League in strikeouts per 9 innings. He's averaging just under 1 per inning. 84 strikeouts, 86 innings. 0-2, not a big lead at first base for Paredes. Buchholz will miss up high with that one. 1-2.
Yeah, you look at some of, the numbers go all over the place, but one that jumps out, you would think, because he's as good as he is, he's only 1-4 at home. High ERA, over 4.5 runs a game. On the road, much more comfortable. 3-2 record with a low ERA, 3.20.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Davis will take that one up.
But the one number that, when I'm doing the work early this morning, the Orioles are the best team in the American League runners in scoring position at 318. His runner in scoring position number is 392.
That's unbelievable. That's one of the highest I've ever seen
for an accomplished pitcher.
Yeah, or an unaccomplished one.
That's a good point.
2-2 delivery on the way. It's one of those that almost by accident it's got to be lower than 390. with runners in scoring position.
And then you start looking, they do all these numbers, BABIP, batting average and balls put in play. This year, his is up probably about 40 points higher than his career average. It's usually around 300. He's at 336. So, and you don't know if that's bad luck or a combination. Maybe not a real good defensive club behind him.
Runner's going to go. 3-2 delivery, and Davis is on. So the Orioles keep it going here in an interesting inning, even though they put nothing across the plate yet. Our American Standard, who's hot, who's not, celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities.
Yeah, you can see down the bottom, Napoli getting a night off with the 4 strikeouts, and of course he's been struggling. Pretty much the rest of the lineup hitting very well for the Red Sox, and J.J. Hardy, a lot of big hits.
Here's a chance again, so we'll test that number on Buchholz. It'll be a first ball hit to short. Bogarts with a force at second, goes to Pedroia to get it. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Bud Norris pitching for the O's. The Orioles can win another game against this Red Sox team. They've won 6 in a row now. And for the Red Sox, take a look at the lineup they'll have in. It is hot. They're hitting. Betts, Holton, Pedroia, Ortiz, Ramirez, and Bogarts. Sandoval, the former Oriole, Alejandro De Aza, and Sandy Leon. For Brock Holt this month, he's one of the many in the lineup with a big average.
So Bud Norris coming off one of his better starts, even though it was a loss, 2-1 up in Philadelphia. The Ryan Howard home run, a lot of fastballs, breaking ball, slider, cutter, change up. Not as many this year as last. Of course, kind of a tough start for him. 3 innings, 8 runs. So again, the ERA inflated. As a matter of fact, he's given up 37 runs and 17, very much like Chris Tillman, against the Toronto Blue Jays, offensive team in the game. So missed almost a month because of the illness. They got bronchitis, lost a lot of weight. And we'll see again what the strike zone. He's talking on the bus. He said he likes Todd Titchener's strike zone, and we've already seen that he will give you the low strike.
Mookie Betts, 10-game hit streak. He continued it last night with a 1-for-3. Pitch will be in there for a strike, straight heater. Betts has not had a hit off Norris, 0-for-4, and the only times he has faced the Orioles' 30-year-old right-hander. He's already got a win against the Red Sox. Pitch outside. He beat Boston on April 26 in a lopsided 18-7 Orioles win. He gave up 3 runs, 7 hits, 6 2/3 innings, and the Orioles were on top 12-3 when he left the ball game. That one in the air to right field, not shaded that way. Parmalee will still get over and put it away, and Betts retired.
Yeah, take a look at their Oriole defense, and it's a good one. Second in the league. Parmalee really got a good jump there. He's in right, low, and run him down in center with Jones still with a shoulder problem. Travis Snyder out in left field. Machado platinum glove. Hardy with 3 consecutive gold gloves. Flaherty's played really well at second. Davis and then Caleb Joseph. Matt Wieters was behind the plate last night, and they alternate. Caleb Joseph doing the catching tonight.
And here is Brock Holt. We showed you the numbers he has put up of late. He did have an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. He's 4 for 8 in his career against Bud Norris. Bud has a 2-2 career mark against this Red Sox team, part of that being the 1-0 record he has put up this season. And a ground ball towards second. Flaherty on about a 4-hopper makes the play. Holt can fly, and he gets him by a half step.
Yeah, we saw last night, well, you really better come get the ball. If you have the shift on, they don't do that against Holt because of the speed. But again, there's no ground ball with Brock Holt running. That's routine.
It was pretty close right there.
Oh yeah, I mean you cannot hesitate.
It'll bring up Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia with a 1 for 4 last night. He is 9th in the American League in average at the beginning of today's play, and 4th in hits. Talk a little bit at night. I talked with Dustin about the bat. He's the only player in Major League Baseball who's using the axe-handled bat. It's a specially designed bat that's available for others, but he's chosen to use it every game. And I said, does it really make a difference? He let me handle it tonight just to feel what it was like. The handle's like an axe handle. Instead of just being the round knob at the end, it's got kind of a hook on it, and it keeps your hand, you see right there, it keeps your hand from sliding off the bat. It doesn't allow you to hold it with that finger at the bottom. And he said it really does make a difference. He said it feels different, feels very comfortable, and he really likes it. According to the study done on the bat by the company that makes it, they had scientific examination that says the bat allows a 15% increase in speed through the strike zone because you're able to get a better grip on it.
And then of course, you know, he's had constant problems last year before last, the thumb surgery last year. I was talking about it today, a tendon sheath he had to have released. So, and it's all that front arm, and that gets you to the baseball. So probably, and he's having a great year.
Ground ball down to third. Played by Manny Machado in a very solid inning as Bud Norris comes out, retires the side in order, and zip on the board after 1. From Baltimore, you've won $500 for being selected. You get $500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game. Play baseball box scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Barbara, good luck. I will tell you in advance, though, Clay Buchholz says not allowed a home run in his last 5 starts.
So he's due, Barbara.
So there you go. He's given up 1 home run to right-handed hitters in his last 23 starts. Barbara, it means you're on. This is your night. It's due. Pitch will be taken by Snyder.
So the good news for Barbara is that, again, that record at home, ERA higher, and he is pitching here at Fenway Park. So maybe.
And swing and a miss. Snyder's had 1 hit in 17 at-bats against Buchholz. He comes in with a 3-game hit streak that he continued last night, picking up a hit in a couple of at-bats. Snyder will try and get to Buchholz here tonight. Snyder, Flaherty, and Joseph will be due up. Right-hander's pitch. Strikeout. And the assist.
Yeah, like we talked about, again, Joe Kelly, power arm. I mean, he just scattered the ball all over the, not even the strike zone, because he was behind a lot of hitters. Buchholz, the total opposite. He's got 4 or 5 ways to get you out, because he can 4-seam it, 2-seam it, cut it, curveball, changeup, and the slider. And so if he sees you have a weakness, he usually can exploit it.
1 down. Pitch will be taken. Strike on the outside corner. Flaherty 5 for 15 lifetime off Buchholz. Ryan continues to just pound the Red Sox. In at third base, Sandoval. Flaherty will take it away. On the year, hitting .400 against Boston. He's had 1 home run, 4 RBIs in the 11 games these teams have played. The Orioles have an 8-3 lead in the season series. Flaherty will check swing that one, and the pitch is going to miss. Did he go? Check at third. No. Tim Timmons. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, take a look, and this is what Tim. Yeah, not even close. Right there, he just added about 2 miles per hour on his fastball and tried to hit that outside corner.
Flaherty waiting on a 2-1 delivery. Hits it hard. He's got another base hit. So Flaherty just continues to do what he does. If the uniform says Boston or Red Sox on it, he's going to hit. Just this year, but career-wise. Take a look at our Express Stat by Express Care, a LifeBridge Health partner. For locations, visit whywaitinther.com.
Yeah, and this is what you were alluding to. Again, that's what he, the fastball 92, changeup right around 80. Chris Sale, of course, one of the best changeups in baseball, one of those hot streaks. Scherzer coming off a 1-hitter and a no-hitter, and their average is 50 points higher. That's how good he is with the changeup.
Here is Caleb Joseph. He continues to in and out with Matt Waiters on a game-by-game basis, as Buck Showalter said they would, and fortunate to be able to do that. Caleb at the .241, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs. He's had a home run against the Red Sox this year. Not a big lead at first for Flaherty, and the pitch on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, the ability, like most of the other Orioles, to get runners in when you get the opportunity. I mean, 371 with runners in scoring position. And that's what, 100, maybe almost 130 points higher than his normal batting average.
And that one knocked down as Leone holds the runner at first base.
What I like about Caleb, if you're pitching, he doesn't have the experience of Matt Wieters. He doesn't have the bat of Matt Wieters, but last year he caught because Wieters had the Tommy John, and the ERA was 3 runs. And that means he must have been doing something right. And if you give him a chance to throw people out, he's going to do it. And that's a bonus for a backup catcher.
And that one's going to go to right field. They were playing him over there. Catch made, chance for 2. Not in time. Flaherty just saved his bacon on that one, because Buck Showalter, even though the Orioles won the ball game 6-4 last night, afterwards and again today, the only thing he could talk about were the Oriole outs on the base paths. He was not happy with the Orioles base running, and he let them know it after the ball game.
Yeah, it doesn't erase it just because you get a W. And right there, play in front of you. I mean, Ryan Flaherty, pretty aware player. You look around, you know where Diaz, probably didn't get a good read off the bat, thought it was going to fall, and then very lucky to get back.
Close. In at third base, Sandoval even with 2 down. Lowe with a big blow in the ball game. That home run he put up in the second inning, a 3-run shot, his 4th of the year. That really set the pace for the Orioles. That put them on top 4-0 in that inning. And the Red Sox made a comeback attempt towards the end. The Orioles had a big enough lead to withstand it.
Yeah, it really turned it around. I mean, 4 runs in the second inning, and then you added a couple of more single runs. The difference between Joe Kelly, he got himself with David Lowe after Flaherty had hit the right here. I mean, he did a 3-1 fastball, 3-2 fastball, so he got the time. And then he got a great pitch to hit. Now, he may get a good pitch to hit off of Clay Buchholz, but 3-2, 3-1, you don't know what's coming. I mean, he is the guy that changes speeds about as well as anybody.
1 ball, 1 strikeout. Flaherty very short lead. And the pitch inside. Buck Showalter said that just one more guarantee after that home run that you can never figure this game out. He said, I saw David Lowe. We all said it. He had a 3-1 count. He took a pitch right down the middle. And Buck said all of us in the dugout went, oh.
He even alluded to that after the game.
Yeah,
he said, I'm sure everybody groaned in the dugout.
And he was right. They did. Buck said today we all groaned, said that's it. That's the one he was going to hit. You're not going to get another one of those. And on the next pitch, he hits a 3-run homer.
Well, that would be the difference. If you got a 3-1 fastball down the middle with Clay Buchholz and you took it, that would probably be the best pitch you're going to get to hit.
Yeah.
And I said it at the time last night. I said, it was a pretty hittable pitch, and he got a better one to hit. And he got to time it because he saw, 5 straight fastballs?
2-1 delivery to him, and that will be fouled away. Buchholz is having to throw some pitches here early on. The second inning, 35.
Well, the amazing thing, Gary, you look, 7 innings, 8 innings, 7 1/3, 105, 106, 102. So usually he's very pitch efficient, and usually the Orioles don't really do a great job of getting the pitch count up because they're a very free swinging, aggressive early count hitters.
2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and he got him in the inside corner. So Buchholz will pick up the strikeout 2 in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. No score, going to the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that look at the Blue Jays. The Orioles having a great month. They're 14 out of their last 18, and they started out. The Blue Jays won 11 in a row. So while they're 14th in ERA, the Orioles are a much more balanced club. They do lead the world in hitting. And then the Astros, the biggest surprise in baseball. What are they? 11 games over 500 with a 7-game lead over the Rangers. Another surprise team.
Playing some really good baseball again. Toronto, by the way, got another win today. We'll talk about it later. It was an extra inning 1-0 win. So they added 1 to their differential. Here is David Ortiz. Ortiz took the 0-for in the ball game last night. 0-for-4 off Bud Norris. He is 3-for-12 lifetime with a home run. The Orioles, of course, have the big shift on against him.
Yeah, daring him to bunt.
Couple of home runs against the Orioles this year. That last one passed Mickey Mantle for the third most home runs against the Orioles ever.
He's giving him the stare, I'll tell you that.
He's got 45 career home runs against the O's. Only Harmon Killebrew and Alex Rodriguez have more.
Well, I helped Harmon do that.
Harmon had 68 against the Orioles. Rodriguez has 64. And Ortiz has.
Well, his best at bat was against closer Zach Britton. He lined out to end the game. I mean, he hit a rocket, but right at Manny Machado. Manny playing a lot different than where he is now. He's playing shortstop.
Ortiz will take a bouncer from Norris inside.
But
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Because of the game, he was playing about maybe 15 feet to the right of third base from where we're looking down at the field, and hit it right at him. The final out of the game.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Ortiz will take that one inside. Norris being very careful with David Ortiz.
Yeah, normally you don't want the first guy on. I mean, I would safe to say if you could pull that off, which you can't, you never would have him on. But you mentioned it last night, Ortiz with not a lot of speed. If you're going to get a guy on, this is the guy.
Into the seats and foul the other way.
I just thought when the Orioles swept the Red Sox in Baltimore, Ortiz was late on the fastball and on the breaking ball. That's what he hit off Chaz Rowe, the only home run that Chaz has thrown. It was a slider, so it's sped up the bat. Doesn't mean he can't hit the fastball, but
he's got a great pitch that time. Norris gets him on a swinging strike.
But you know, last week they had an article. Carly Yastrzemski, Hall of Famer, one of the great Red Sox of all time, was here, and he said, "Well, the Red Sox aren't as bad as they're playing, but I saw Yaz when he was young, and then at the end of his career, and you never could fool him until he got about 38, 39, which is what Ortiz is, and the bat does slow down. It's the way it is, and you cheat. You're probably trying to hit the fastball, catch up, and you expand the zone, and you're easier to get out with breaking balls, and that's what I see from Ortiz at this point. Now, maybe that'll change.
Not likely.
No. Well, we'll see, but everybody up here is hoping that. Now, this guy that steps to the plate now, Ramirez doesn't have that problem.
He's got a 4-game hit streak coming in, and a hot one, 7 for 15, including 2 home runs, 5 RBIs during the streak. He has touched the Orioles up for 4 home runs this year and a .306 average. Norris's delivery hit to the hole. That'll be a base hit. A chopper. He pounded down into the Fenway turf and got a base hit out of it. So man on for the Red Sox with 1 down here in the 2nd inning. Our daytime baseball, Toronto did get the win over Tampa Bay at 12. Colabello got the home run, solo shot, 12th inning. Estrada 8 2/3 innings. He almost had the no-hitter against the Orioles. Team combined for 10 hits, 28 strikeouts. Yankees pounded Philadelphia. How about Nova's return? 6 2/3, no runs, 3 hits, first start of the year. The Yankees had 13 hits for the 6th time in the last 7 games, and ended 3-game streak of 11 runs allowed. The Yankees just keep finding a way. Still got to miss Bogaerts.
But they got to be real pleased that Ivan Nova comes back and pitches like that 14 months after Tommy John. But Sabathia gave up 6. Tanaka and Pineda got knocked out, as you mentioned, the previous 2 games. So you always think things are straightening out, and then you got to play the next game. Things change.
Xander Bogaerts on a heater. Norris at 95, and just blew that one by Xander Bogaerts. Pretty good heat. Bogaerts has never had a hit off Norris. He's 0 for 9 lifetime off the Oriole right-hander. By the way, it was Hamels who took that loss for Philadelphia. He gave up 5 runs, 8 hits in 5 innings. Cole Hamels in that ball game. That'll just miss outside, leaning for a look. 1 and 2.
I know you do a lot of reading, as I do. Is there any paper or any team that's in contention where you don't see Hamels' name bandied around?
He said he won't go somewhere, didn't he, today? Was that him? Somebody said they wouldn't go somewhere. I can't remember what it was. Here's the pitch, and it's outside. Most of the pitchers of his ilk, of course, meaning success, have contracts that have clubs where they have a right to say no to any trade, or they have clubs listed that they would not be traded to. And so that obviously impinges on the ability of teams to move a lot of players, not just pitchers. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and comes inside with it at 94. 3-2, 1 down. You got Ramirez over at first. We'll make sure with his first base coach that he's got the sign here as to whether or not they want him running.
Yeah, not a bad guy. I mean, Bogarts last year struck out a lot, this year less. And as we mentioned last night, he hits the ball to right field about as well as you can. And
runner does go right into the double play. Flaherty, and that's that. Hey, you pays you money and you takes your chances. And that time it didn't work for the Red Sox. Bogarts right into Flaherty's glove with the runner going. Otherwise, Flaherty's not there. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We've completed 2 at Fenway and no score. Series with the Indians that night, Friday. Don't miss the next fireworks night. Stay after the game, the Birdland skies with a great display. Beautiful fireworks. Bring family and friends. Enjoy a night at the Yard. At Orioles.com for tickets or 888-848-BIRD. That's on Friday. Cleveland picked up a win over the Tigers today by a score of 8-2. The next Oriole opponent. That's to third. Sandoval makes the play. Talk about a side saddle as Manny Machado drilled it.
Yeah, you got to play about halfway in because not that he bunts a lot, but he will, and then the bullet. When you're hitting 380 in the month of June, I mean, this is the kind of plays it takes. Again, right there, bam. Remember when they moved Richie Allen to third, and he said, "How do you like playing?" He said, "Well, you're either going to catch it or you're not." More interested in when I get to the plate. It's a great way to play third. And
Chris Parmalee.
I remember when Chris Sabo played for the Orioles, and the Orioles needed some outfield play. I think Johnny Oates was the manager, and he said, "Chris, can you play right field?" He says, "Why not? I'll just turn around and play it off the wall." It's kind of the way you play third sometimes. It's a reflex position. Hot corner.
What Casey Stengel used to say about the New York Mets catchers when the team first started. They all just let it go by and play it on the rebound. Casey was known for a few of those in his time. And that'll be foul back. Parmalee grounded out.
You know, I grew up in New York, and early on, which proves I'm not perfect. I was a Yankee fan, and I, because Casey,
you're not perfect.
No.
My God.
No. Turn the page. Okay, now, anyway, Casey was the manager of a lot of those ball clubs, but I didn't realize till I read the Billy Martin book, thanks to Buck Showalter, told me how to read it, one of his mentors, how good a player Casey was. Yeah.
You got him. That's called strike.
Well, this is what Buck Holtz can do, and, he throws change-ups down and away, and then he cuts it in, and then he throws you the curveball, and, of course, Leon can catch, and that ball runs back. That's a two-seam fastball. You give up on it, and then the movement catches the inside corner. So again, this is the anti-Joe Kelly that they're very frustrated with up here.
2 quick outs, And that's what Buchholz needs now to hang on to that pitch count a little bit at 41.
Well, he's not afraid to throw it over, and he's not afraid to kind of try to dot the edges.
Brady's up. He'll go after the first pitch. That's going to be in the gap. Can it be cut off? Yes. Good play by Alejandro De Aza. He'll get it back in. Paredes, though, continues hot. 2 for 2 in the ball game. He's got 2 singles. He's on 2 down. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. So the Orioles have their 3rd hit of Buchholz, all singles, 2 of them to Paredes. And that'll bring up Chris Davis. Chris walked first time up.
Yeah, what wind there is here is kind of blowing across. I would, if you ever pitched here as I did for 19 years, I consider that blowing in. You're hoping it's blowing in, but it's not blowing out.
Swirling because we know, because our papers have gone flying more than once here behind home plate in the booth.
Well, David Lowe was talking about it after the game, saying that he was playing center field last night. I mean, it would change.
0-1 count. Chris Davis with Paredes again, a short lead over there at first base. Buchholz off speed delivery will miss outside.
Yeah, the ability, and when Chris is on his game, we saw this up in Toronto on Sunday, this could be a very friendly ballpark if he hits the ball the other way.
Chris hitting .230 in June. He's had 3 home runs this month. And a big cut going for 1 right there. Adam Jones, of course, still out of the lineup tonight. So Adam has now missed 5 of the last 7 games. Has not played in the outfield since June 15. Thinks he's going to be ready to play on Friday when the club returns home. That's what he thinks. 1-2 delivery on the way. Got it up in the air, but center. And Betts will move over and put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Bottom 3rd of the order for the Red Sox against Norris when we come back. Fenway Park.
Yeah, you can kind of explain some of the numbers. I asked Dustin Pedroia. The Red Sox hit about 30 points higher here, as it does in most teams. The runs, and I think, I always thought it was tough to pitch here, and it is sometimes, but you do have a lot of room. But again, your pitching staff has a lot to do with that, and the pitching for the Red Sox, one of the reasons they're 10 games under 500. So I think that has to play into the fact. And Dustin made a good point. He said early on the grass is higher. I don't know why, but mainly because they let it grow to try to nurture it, and the ball doesn't carry. And now, of course, things change. Grass is, maybe the infield's a little bit faster, and then, as we've seen, the wind can blow out a little bit or gust.
Here's Sandoval. He will take it for a strike. Sandoval 3 for 4 in the ball game last night, continuing on his tear, raising that average. up to 279. Dangerous hitter. Any part of the order, especially down there in the bottom third. He's 356 in June.
Well, what, 21 for his last 50 in his last 13 games, as you mentioned. 3 for 4 didn't hurt him. And then what, 3 for 12 off of Bud Norris. Saw each other when Bud was pitching in the National League for the Astros.
He's had 1 home run off him. He was not going to catch up with that fastball. Fouls it off right off the end of the bat.
Well, I was standing behind the cage and I was talking to Chili Davis, who came first year as a hitting instructor, leaving the athletics and coming over to the Red Sox, and he said, this guy can barrel the ball up. I mean, tremendous hand-eye coordination. As we mentioned last night, swings at least in 2014 more balls out of the zone than anybody in baseball, and still had a terrific year.
Don't make a mistake up high, because it's a mistake you'll pay for with Sandoval.
And you watch him take batting practice, and you could see how he really does try to slice the ball the other way, and then now he'll probably just with 2 strikes try to maybe bigger swing.
Center field. Low is there. He's got it. Sandoval is retired. 1 down. Celebrate summer at Oriole Park. Pick up the 2015 Birdland Summer 6-pack. You choose any of the 6 remaining throughout the season. Savings up to 20% off the cost of single game tickets. And you build the plan. You can do it around rivalry games, promotions like T-shirt night, fireworks night, your pick. Go to Orioles.com/6-pack or call 888-848-BIRD. 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Alejandro De Aza. Couple of hits, 8 at bats off Norris. De Aza passing through, of course, with the Orioles, and got some playing time, but it was not what the Orioles were looking for. So over to Boston. 14 games now with the Red Sox, 262. He's had 2 triples, 3 doubles for extra base hits. In the air to right field. Parmalee started back. It'll drift over to the line. He's got it 2 down.
Yeah, that's kind of his happy zone right there, but he threw him a changeup fastball, and of course last year came up and really did help the Orioles down the stretch. Hit 2 home runs here, 1 into the bullpen, 1 over the Oriole bullpen. But it kind of tells you that the Red Sox, again, Castillo out of Cuba, got hurt in spring training. He just went back down there. Are looking for somebody to play the outfield for him. Piazza's the guy from time to time.
They also hoping to get their starting catcher back tonight. They didn't, as Blake Swihart has got the left foot that got banged up. It's on a day-to-day. So Leone catching again as he did last night. He went 1 for 4. Was outstanding behind the plate. Big arm. Strike taken, and Norris gets ahead of him 0-2.
Yeah, Ryan Hannigan, we talked about this last night. He is rehabbing, but he can't come back off the list. I think they put him on the 60-day until July 1st. So while he may be getting better, broken finger on his right hand. Ooh.
One ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Pitching duel so far.
Yep. Get a feeling that it's going to be 1 pitch, or maybe a leadoff batter instead of getting him out. Maybe steal a base or get the guy over. One of those type of games.
Left-handers have had the big numbers off Bud at 345. Right-handers just 243, so 102 points difference. So this lineup's got all the lefties they can get in it, with the Holt and Ortiz, Sandoval, De Aza, Leone fouled off at the plate. But so far, Bud Norris has given into none of it and is trying to get through the first 3 innings, facing the minimum 9.
Yeah, a little slider and then just fouls it off his leg.
And efficiently so for Bud. 38 pitches thrown. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that's there, and he got him. No argument on it. Couple of strikeouts and a 1-2-3 innings. So 9 faced through the first 3. Nobody on the board. Zip zip. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By visitannapolis.org. Find the Chesapeake experience at visitannapolis.org. And by Chesapeake Employers Insurance, Maryland's workers' compensation specialist. If you've never been to Fenway, that's what it looks like as you go around the ballpark underneath. And up top, the press box built, I don't know, a decade ago, I guess now. The whole area behind home plate was renovated. Buchholz, and the pitch for a ball to Hardy. Hardy hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. For Buchholz, first time through, hitters at 293. Second time through the lineup as they are now, it drops to 248. Third time, 355. So Buchholz has been this year and most of his career one of those pitchers you want to get to early. It doesn't get better as it goes along for the hitters. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Hardy. 7 for 20 now, 2 home runs off Buchholz. That one to second base, Pedroia. 1 down. And Orioles fans, never miss a game update, behind the scenes moment, or exclusive contest. Follow at Masson Orioles on Twitter for all the latest Orioles buzz. Again, that's at Masson Orioles on Twitter. Here's Travis Snyder. Strikeout victim his first time up. Buchholz settling in to get the outs a lot quicker than he did first 2 innings. Going after it, nubs it, foul.
Yeah, now he's thrown him 4 pitches, all for strikes. And you mentioned the fact that Travis came in, and now he's what, 1 for 18? And Buchholz, he may not know it's 1 for 18 or started out 1 for 7, but he knows he doesn't hit him well. And it's usually because he's making good pitches. And if he did hit him well, it would be usually because he's not. You know, you get into hitters' counts, you don't mix up your pitches.
Snyder up the middle, off his glove. Pedroia, can he make the play? He'll barehand it, throw it, and not get it.
Well, there's a hit.
There's the hit.
2 for 19.
So Snyder gets the infield single with 1 away. It'll be hit number 5 in the ball game for the Orioles.
Yeah, a little breaking ball, and he just hits it back up the middle, and then you can see Pedroia trying to make the play, but it's pretty routine play if Buchholz fields it, but he doesn't. And the Orioles get another base run, another hit, 5 of them on the board.
So the Orioles see what they can do with this, with Flaherty coming up. In at third again will be Sandoval to take the bunt away. Flaherty had a base hit, got it to right field. Pitch on the way down to first. It's fair. Tag, got to make a tag at second. Tag put on. Tough double play, and they get it. Good play. Hauled at first base on the big knockdown. He touched the bag to get the out on Flaherty, so no longer a force. They still were able to make the play. Bogart's putting the tag on at second base.
Yeah, one of those plays. It's probably a double if he's not holding the runner. And then look at this. Heads up play. Great throw.
That is one of the toughest throws on the diamond, and that one was put right on the money. Still no score. American League East, Joe Girardi stubbornly keeping CC Sabathia in the rotation. That in the New York Post. As weather heats up, so does Pablo Sandoval. That in the Boston Globe, and we've seen that on the field. And Rays Matt Moore to get one more rehab start. That from the Tampa Bay Times. Then they'll maybe start to get some of those starters back.
Yeah, Smiley with shoulder problems. Alex Cobb had the Tommy John, so he's out all year. Moore had it last, I think, late April. So he'd probably be, what, 14 months?
Hoping for some help, even though they're pitching so well right now. Norris back to work and went around on it. Home plate umpire with a call on Mookie Betts. Betts flied out his first time up. Orioles had another roster move today. T.J. McFarland is back up from AAA Norfolk again. Oliver Drake was sent down. We've seen a lot, of course, of McFarland, who continues on the up-down route with the Orioles and available for the ball game tonight.
Yeah, I was walking in, I guess, a few minutes after 4, and Oliver Drake's coming down the corridor and goes, "I'll see you later." I said, "You probably will."
Yes, very good chance. Betts with the 10-game hit streak going, and that ball put up in the air, shallow right, Flaherty back. He's got it. Betts retired, minimum faced here. 10 in the ball game so far. Take a look at our PNC minor league report brought to you by PNC Bank.
Christian Walker last year actually came up and spent some time with the Orioles, and again, over 20 home runs last year, so getting hot again. Second consecutive year. Last year, AA, AAA. So again, maybe not the power that he had last year. The league's adjusting, and it looks like he's readjusting. The name of the game.
Another player we'll hear from again. That pitch is in there for a strike. Holt grounded out his first time up. He started each of the last 18 ball games, and he's been around playing a fine first base in the ball game tonight. Holt will take the pitch. It'll just miss outside for a ball.
Well, he can steal bases. You mentioned he can play all over 7 different positions. I asked him yesterday, "Can you pitch?" He said, "Oh no, that would be ugly." So that's one thing he can't do. Probably could catch if he needed it.
17 straight games he's been on base via some method. See whether or not he can continue that in this game against the Orioles. He's had a very solid year so far. He came in with a .375 batting average against the Orioles. 1 home run and 5 RBIs. So far, though, Norris dominating. Holt will take it. He's shown some real good mustard on the fastball, keeping it up there at 94 to 96.
Yeah, and then John Farrell, he can, and we've seen him do it over the last 5-6 weeks. You know, maybe almost 40 games. Betts, Holt, Pedroia can lead off any of those.
Outside corner.
And see, even there, I mean, he's comfortable taking that pitch. He's probably looking inner half to make Bud Norris have to throw a strike. He knows who's on deck. Pedroia, who's been red hot behind him. So there you can see right there, right on the corner. But he didn't want to do it, and now he's happy to hit 3 and 2.
And we'll take that one and get a walk. First walk surrendered by Norris comes with 1 away here in the 4th inning. The only other base runner, the single by Ramirez in the 2nd, was taken out on a double play. That's why until the walk, we'll see what happens, but had been able to get through with a minimum number of hitters faced.
Well, it's not that Holt can't steal bases, because he can. 4 out of 5. Doesn't run a lot. Betts is the guy that does most of the stealing. But you do have, if the count gets there, you know, maybe 2-0, 2-1, you have a guy that can hit the ball the other way. And you want to get against a guy that's on a hot streak, and that's Bud Norris. He knows how well he pitched his last start. You may want to start the runner if he gets behind Pedroia, because you have somebody who can protect him as well as anybody.
Pedroia grounded out his first time up. 5 for 14 off Norris now. Not a big lead for Holt. Norris will make the throw over. Base stealers 3 out of 5 off Bud Norris this season. Caleb Joseph has thrown out 22%. Let's see how John Farrell wants to play this scoreless ball game in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Pedroia waiting on it. Runner not going. He lifts one up in the air. Center field. Runner halfway will go back. Lowe will make the catch, and Pedroia is retired. 2 down. Just not going to hit one out in that part of the ballpark unless you are really strong. That 379 mark at the end of the scoreboard, all the way over to the Red Sox bullpen, you have really got to nail it from there to center, because in that well it's 420 feet in the deep well here at Fenway Park. That's getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, I call it the old George Scott well. For some reason, Joe Foy, George Scott, I could get him to hit it there.
Those are outs.
Yeah, well, with Paul Blair in the outfield, they were. He'd run them down right up the train.
Here's Ortiz into the shift. That's why the shift is there. Flaherty makes the play, and no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on base. Good pitching duel. Norris and Buchholz holding it at zip-zip. By authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the counts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Reminds me of the Fancy Nancy books. Disseminated. Fancy word for may not distribute. Ooh la la. Fancy Nancy Salon.
Those two young men had their game faces on.
They are. Here is Caleb Joseph. Pitchers have taken over this ball game. Joseph flied out first time up.
He's got his game face on. He's gone to a little bit more of a crouch. Usually a pretty upright. You know, I'm going to have. I mean, Buchholz cutting it, and running it, and doing all the stuff he can do. And
Joseph inside. The Orioles trying to win another one here at Fenway. This has been a great yard for them over the last 3 years. 22-11 since 2012. They've won 8 of the last 10 games played here. Buck Showalter, the skipper for all of those. They are going for their 7th consecutive win against the Red Sox in this ballgame.
Yeah, the sweep in Baltimore, you go back, they won the first one 1-0. And then they won the last one 6-5. So of the 3 games, 2 of them were 1-run games.
This keeps looking like it's got a shot at it. You never know. The 2-1 delivery on the way. Pitch will be taken inside.
Well, like we said, you just never ever know. And when you get into these kind of games and you're pitching and you're saying to yourself, okay, I always want to get the leadoff batter on, but in this kind of game, it's almost imperative. Because if the Orioles or even the Red Sox, they may play for 1 game, and you don't usually see that in the American League in the middle of a game.
Out in front of that one.
Yeah. Well,
he gets 70% of leadoff batter, so he's right there where you.
But see, right there, I mean, this is, again, we talked about Joe Kelly last, he would have been probably 94, 95 straight. That one, he cut it a little bit. So you never ever know what you're going to get with Clay Buchholz.
He's got a full count here. Flaherty will foul that one back. The Orioles come in with the distinct advantage in this series, not only with the wins and losses at 8-3, but they have out-hit the Red Sox with a 307 to 220 average. That 307 batting average against the Red Sox is the highest average that the Orioles have against any of the teams in the American League East. 3-2 coming again. And that one right in on the fist.
I mean, that ball is probably 4 inches off the inside corner. Now, you know Caleb wants to walk, but it's about movement. He's around the plate enough, and again, he's running it, he's cutting it, he's adding a little bit, he's subtracting a little bit, so he gets you in the swing mode.
See what he shows him here, see where all those pitches have been.
You can see a couple of pitches to hit, and then up and in. That's how he got behind, and then he got back into the count.
3-2 delivery, took something off that, 77.
Then he hooks him 3-2.
Good at bat for Joseph in the sense he's again working Buchholz, who's up to 60 pitches thrown in the ball game, and Joseph leading off this inning, which can help when you get to the 2, 3, or 4 Oriole hitter in the inning. 3-2 pitch again on the way, and Joseph will go down swinging. That'll be strikeout number 4 for Buchholz.
Yeah, just a little cut fastball, and he swings right through it. 88, fastball 92. It's in the middle of the plate, but the movement. It's a foot down. He does everything right, and hoping that he fouls it off. You see him look back, and he just missed it. And that's what the cutter does. It doesn't have any spin. The ball just moves a little bit, and it's easy. It's easy to swing through it. Hard to track.
David Lowe. Lowe, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Sandoval moving way in on him. Lowe's got 4 home runs on the season. David had 4 all of last year with the Orioles. He got 174 at bats in. Finished with a 247 average. Lowe will foul that one off. Another pitch coming in, bearing in on the left-hander, and Buchholz will get ahead of him 0-2.
Yeah, to give you an idea, he can strike people out. 9, 10, 11. Only 3 in his last game, but 7 in the game before, and then 2 games before that, 8.
And as we mentioned, he is 10th in the American League in strikeouts per 9 innings. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and Lowe and the off-speed pitch over the top of it. There's another one. That's 5-2 in the inning.
Yeah, he goes to cutters in, and then where's he go? Down and away with a changeup. This is about executing. You can see the movement on the ball. Turns it over, stays on the left side of it, and turns it from left to right, kind of like a screwball.
So a couple of outs on strikeouts here in the top of the 5th inning. And here is Manny Machado, robbed of a hit by Sandoval his last time up. Got a base hit his first time up. Foul back and hard.
Well, I know is that Pablo's moved back a couple of steps.
Yep.
It was a rocket the last time after Manny let it off the game with a single up the middle.
Against Buchholz, he's had 3 hits, 10 at bats. Manny with a home run, 4 RBIs against Boston this year. And the pitch to him inside. Real fine article, CBS Sports. Dane Perry wrote it about not forgetting Manny Machado in light of all the outstanding youngsters who are playing, like Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Nolan Ariendo. He said, don't miss the numbers Manny's putting up. Ground ball will go to short. It'll be played by Bogarts, and a 1-2-3 inning for Buchholz. So these pitchers are in the groove. It remains 0-0. Red Sox have only 1 hit. PNC for the achiever in you. By Smythe Jewelers, where Maryland gets engaged. And by Coons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Gary Thornton and Jim Palmer here at Fenway. Could not be a nicer evening or been a nicer day than what today was. 83 when we started the ball game, but very comfortable. And Bud Norris could hardly be better than what he's put up right there.
Yeah, we got two pitchers that are really engaged in tonight. And again, coming off is one. I didn't do the game. You and Mike Bordick up in Philadelphia, but I thought it was one of the best pitches of the games he's pitched. And he got hurt. He got beat 2-1. Had a 1-0 lead. Ryan Howard hit a home run at the 7th inning, and that was it.
Here's Ramirez up the middle, base hit. So Ramirez is 2 for 2. That will be a leadoff single, and that's the first leadoff man on for the Red Sox in the ballgame. On Sunday, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over at the Orioles Indians game 135 are going to get the Orioles cap presented by DAP. Don't miss this annual fan favorite. Enjoy a great afternoon at the ballpark. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Here's Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts hit into a double play his first time up. The Red Sox have hit into one. That took Ramirez off the bases and ended the second inning. The Orioles, they've had a couple of double plays. Both these ball clubs playing some really solid D in this game, backing up their pitching. That's going to be there for a strike to Bogaerts.
Yeah, Norris went 3-2 on Bogaerts, and they started Ramirez, and because Flaherty was covering routine double play. Hit the ball pretty sharply right back up the middle, and Ryan was standing there.
Double play depth again with nobody out. 0-1 delivery on the way. Bogaerts a chopper. It will go foul, and he will come back. Picked up a career high 3 doubles on Sunday. He too has been upping the average of late, even though he had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night.
Well, if you look down this lineup, Betts, Holtz, Pedroia, Ramirez, Bogaerts, Sandoval, and even Diaz since he's come over, they've all hit well. And that's why they what, 44 runs their last 7 games. They now, 12 games have scored 70 runs. So pretty much more about the pitching. And tonight Buchholz is giving him a terrific job. Their job is.
Runner goes 0-2 delivery, and that's going to be a hit and run, and it hits the runner. Throw to first and a double play. No, sorry. Ball's dead. My bad. It took Ramirez, and I'm telling you, that hit him hard. I don't know if it caught on the hand or just the leg, but whichever, he felt that.
Now, what are the odds of this happening? Now, I don't know if he's looking. It didn't appear to me that he was looking right here. Bogaerts, as we mentioned, this is perfect hit and run. Start the runner, and then I don't think he's not even looking. Normally you do, and it hit him in the hand. They could hit him in the left hand, right on the left on the hand. Yeah, and he's not even paying attention to the hitter. It's a little unusual.
And he's going to head down the runway towards the clubhouse. We'll see if Hanley Ramirez can come back. That ball was stung by Bogaerts, who will reach first base.
Well, it was the perfect start the runner and then hit behind him, except he hit him.
Wow. Break for the Orioles, fouled away by Sandoval. That's why on those hit and runs, the rule is you're supposed to watch so you know what the batter's done.
Well, if the guy pops the ball up or skies it somewhere, if you're not watching, how do you know when to get back?
You don't.
I mean, coach can't on a normal ballpark. Crowd noise is too loud. That's why you usually can discern whether it's a straight steal or whether the guy is actually looking to see if it is a hit and run.
Sandoval, the 0-1 delivery to him. I'll tell you, Red Sox management right now is holding their breath. And that's the kind of shot taken on a hand that can be a serious injury. Hope not.
I mean, that is scored a base hit.
Yeah. That's 3 hits in the ball game, 2 here in the inning, but there's an out. That ball will go to second. Ryan Flaherty. There's Hardy. There's the relay, and there's 2. Another double play turned. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And it remains zip zip. left field where Ramirez was playing. Holt had been at first, and Napoli will come on to play at first base. So Ramirez out of there for the ball game after taking that shot off the bat of Bogaerts, and we'll have to wait for a medical on that one, as will the Red Sox. It remains 0-0. Here are the numbers for Buchholz, what he's throwing. One walk and 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, and again, the fastball is really, it's different speeds. He cuts it. That's part of that group. So a lot of different speeds of his fastball makes it very effective. Yeah, a lot of pitchers will tell you, well, fastball can almost be 3-4 pitches.
How about that arm action right there? It was only an 80-mile-an-hour pitch, and he came around like a whip.
Well, that's the 109 batting average on that changeup.
Parmalee is 0-2.
And he'll throw it any count.
And comes back with a 92 that looks that much faster, but missed.
Yeah, the one thing about Todd Tichenor last night with Tim Timmons, the third base umpire behind the plate, it was a low strike zone. Tonight, it's maybe not quite as low, but there are no high pitches being called.
1-1 delivery on the way.
Except
that is in there for a strike.
Except that one.
That's right. Todd Tichenor has had a history of being pretty favorable to hitters. That strike zone tends to be a little bit squeezed according to pitchers, and hitters generally can get some counts to work with.
And there's your Nissan. Parmalee, better low ball hitter than high ball hitter.
That's going to go down the line and be a base hit. Over is Holt. Holt blocks it, stops it, makes the throw to second, not in time, and he's on the bag. So Parmalee with a lead-off double here in the 6th inning.
So we talked all night about, okay, what's going to happen? Pitcher's duel. Can you get the first guy on? As it turns out, this is a leadoff W. Now, can you get him over? That's what Jimmy Paredes will try to do, get him in or over. So last night, doubled down the left field line, tripled down the right field line, and you can see Holt gets to it very quickly, but because he has to collide with the wall, no chance of even Chris Parmalee from getting into second.
So the Orioles get the opportunity here in the 6th inning. That's only the second time they've had the leadoff man on. They did that in the 1st inning. Manny Machado, then he got caught stealing. Jimmy Paredes has had 2 singles in the ball game. Here's your #1 hitter in the league with runners in scoring position, officially with enough at bats now to qualify back on top. And the pitch to him, swing and a miss, hitting at .465 in these situations. Prince Fielder second at .422.
And Buchholz is thinking, how do I get the 2 strikes and maybe strike him out, or worst case scenario, don't let him pull the ball. That's what he wants to do, get the runner over.
Paredes upping his average to .314 with the 2 hits he's put up on the board tonight. And now the Orioles look to get that early lead in the ball game. And maybe in the way this game is going, you're not going to need many. Put a W up. Bogaerts holding the runner close at second base. Parmalee. Buchholz with a delivery, and that ball's going to be popped up third base side of the plate, and putting it away is Leon. 1 down.
Yeah, couldn't get it done. Trying to do it. And again, the change of speeds gets him out on his front foot, and he just pops it up.
So Buchholz gets a big out there. Now the infield will move around with Chris Davis coming up. Chris has walked and flied out to center field. So he'll get the RBI chance.
Yeah, going back to those numbers, 392 runners in scoring position off of Buchholz. Only 2 chances tonight. It's the best runner in scoring position team in baseball, American League.
He'll just swing around. Watch him go back to the bag. Orioles were 4 for 8 in the ball game last night with runners in scoring position. Red Sox went just 3 for 11. There have been very few opportunities for either team in this one. 1 down. Davis, great skip stop right there by Leon.
I mean, it's really like watching a middle infielder catch. That's how quick he is. Great arm, great release, quick, accurate arm. I mean, this ball easily back to the backstop. Not me worry.
It's when you know your knees are still in good working order when you can do that. He got over in front of that ball on a backhand. 1-0 delivered to Davis. Big uppercut on it. That one at 82. Chris has had 2 home runs off Buchholz. in his career. He's hitting pretty good, 7 out of 23.
It's almost like he had a sense of how this game was going to go. You mentioned came in and saw at 7 for 22 with a couple of home runs. He got behind him and walked him the first time, and then got ahead of him and got him out the second time.
1-1 delivery, runner off second base, line drive center field. Betts falls in front. What a read! Throw's going to be cut off. Nope, they let it go, but he's in. Oh my! Parmalee took off, did not wait, and Betts was charging as though he was going to have a chance to make that catch, and Parmalee was already over to third base, and the Orioles get a 1-0 lead.
Well, again, he gets on, so what, 2 doubles and a triple already, and boy, you get the good read. They try to come in, and watch Chris Davis. He gets the bat head to the ball, doesn't hit it hard, but it's a good read by Parmalee. He's going to make Betts make a good throw, which he does. But again, because of the early jump, scores easily to make it 1-0.
So Chris Davis, the Orioles RBI leader, gets his 41st of the year, and the Orioles get on the board on their 7th hit, a 1-0 lead. And here is Hardy, still only 1 away. Hardy will take the pitch for a strike. Well, the Orioles get an opportunity and don't pass it by. Leadoff double by Parmalee, and Chris Davis way above his season average with runners in scoring position at about 245 now. Davis short lead at first. Hardy on the pitch. He'll take it down low. Now the Orioles all season long have been a team that gets on the board first. They've scored first 44 games, second in the American League behind the Tigers, and third in the majors behind the Tigers in San Francisco.
That's what now out of what, 71 games?
Yeah. And Hardy on a check swing unintended and a foul ball back. Didn't want that to happen. Orioles in such games 30-14 when they score first. And Parmalee is crossed for the O's. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Hardy. Davis off first base. Hardy a chopper to short. Bogarts, Pedroia off the mark, off the screen. So staying at first base will be Hardy.
And you know Dustin Pedroia is going, boy, am I fortunate right there. I mean, he comes across the bag, knew he had a hurry, and then it's not even close. Nice play by Bogarts, who's really done a nice job. Brian Butterfield, their infield instructor. And here's the errant throw, and then he gets lucky. It hits the screen instead of going in either the dugout or into the camera well.
Tried to give himself an advantage there. You saw how he stopped because he was going to get to the bag too early. So he stopped, then started again so he'd have some momentum to make the throw, but it didn't help. So the inning will go on. Fielder's choice for Hardy at first base. There are now 2 down. And here is Snyder, who picked up a single his last time up, 1 for 2. He was also struck out. 2 down. Orioles up. 1 run on 7 hits. Boston no runs on 3 hits. Orioles have left only 4 on. The Red Sox have left 1. Buchholz a long look over, and the pitch will miss away. 1 ball, 1 strike count. So Buchholz up to 83 pitches thrown now in this ball game. One delivery on the way and a check swing. They want to look, and yes, he went. Tim Timmons at third.
Yeah, the one thing about Buchholz, if you watch Sandy Leon behind the plate, he very rarely misses his target. So Leon wanted to go kind of inside, little cutter. That's where the ball is going to be. And you know, right now, just watch the catcher, and pretty much that's where the ball is going to be in that vicinity. He's going to move late, so Snyder can't see him. It'll be a cutter down and in.
1-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. Fastball up and away, and that's 6 strikeouts. But the Orioles will pick up the run. They do it on 2 hits, leave 1 on. Parmalee scores RBI Davis, and it's 1-0. Saturday's the day for Oriole fans to be able to collect the Buck Showalter gnome, who made a tour of Boston, went around Fenway Park, joined some of the fans watching batting practice from up on the upper deck. The gnome had a magnificent day, and you'll be able to talk to your gnome if you're at the ballpark. Oh my God. First 25,000 Saturday at the Cleveland game, which will have first pitch 7:15. First 25,000 15 and over at that ball game will get the Buck Showalter Garden gnome. Not particularly the one that ran around the ballpark, but one.
Yeah, he's really waiting. It's kind of those good news, bad news things. Good news, you can come out ballpark Saturday night, first 25,000.
Yep.
The bad news, and maybe it's really the good news, is it doesn't look like him. So if you see a big black eraser, because his name's on the platform, and there's a big black mark through it,
yes,
that means Buck got gnome. Nobody will know it's him.
Here is Alejandro De Aza.
It all started in spring training, but I think the second game I did was March 17th. He goes, I can't believe they're doing a gnome night. I said, well, could be worse. It's not a clown night or anything like that. You are three-time manager of the year and all that.
Down to first base, gobbled up, dropped, and safe. Arguing, he stepped on his hand too. The tag put on, but now trainer and manager coming out. Former teammate Alejandro De Aza diving in, and there you go again with those head first dives. Had it and dropped it.
Yeah, just assumed he'd be there, and he's late.
Right on his hand.
Yep.
It's one way to prove you're safe. Have the foot come down on your hand that's already on the bag.
Yeah, it's a routine play if you do your job, and that is to get over there. And you assume he's going to catch it. It's right at him. Ball comes up a little bit, something you can't or never should assume is going to be cleanly caught, and then now you get a little bit of speed at first. They're looking for base runners, and they got one.
Error will be charged to Chris Davis on the bobble, and they've already lost Ramirez on a hit and run. Took a shot to the hand. He's out. He didn't need to lose De Aza, but he's in and he's on. Here's Leon. Now will John Farrell bunt him here? You got Mookie Betts waiting on deck.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility. It's not that Leon, he did lead off an inning and get a base hit last night. He just doesn't play a lot. But I guess if you're John Farrell, how many times have you really seen him bunt?
He's got 4.
Really?
He leads the team in sacrifices.
Well, there you go. He knows.
Wow. Yeah, Leon was 4 sacrifices in just 28 games. Brian Butterfield, third base coach with the signs.
And Manny really not that close at third. He's playing just on the dirt. The last thing you want to do is have him bunt and not be able to at least get one out.
Did not show bunt, and it won't matter. It's going to get away on a pass ball, and down to second base goes De Aza.
Yeah, it's a ball that really runs, and Caleb goes to catch it. And watch him try to backhand it, and when he does, the movement doesn't allow him to get the ball in the middle of the glove.
So now the potential tying runs on at second base with nobody out. The shift is on against Leon, whose job now to get him either in or at least moved up to third base. He does square. He drops it. Norris let it go by. Everybody's safe. Didn't mean to, but he never got a hand on it. It'll be a base hit.
Very unusual way to catch a hard bunt like that. And I mean, all you do is reach down with your glove, and which is why you get to wear one and got a much better chance. But watch him try to barehand it, just backhand it, and of course it gets by him. And first of all, you didn't want the lead off error, but I mean, this is a very unorthodox way of trying to catch that ball. And I always worried about the go-ahead run, and that's now at first base, even though it's only the 6th inning.
So first and third, nobody out. And the top of the order, Mookie Betts at the plate. Betts has flied out, popped out. Still has that 10-game hit streak going, and Buck Showalter now up top, taking a long look. They'll play for 2, let the run score and a ground ball. Pitch will be taken away.
Yeah, well, this is when Bud really has to take a deep breath. I mean, it's very much that between innings. A little bit of what went on in Philadelphia. He had a 1-0 lead. Infield hit by Freddie Galvis, beat it out, and then he got ahead of Ryan Howard, made a mistake, hit a 2-run home run, and he ends up losing.
Betts 302 with runners in scoring position, big number, and he's got a base hit. Ball game tied. Making the turn at second, Leone. He'll stay. Parmalee throws it all the way through on the fly. So Betts gets the base hit. The Red Sox are on the board, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, because again, if you're going well, yeah, Davis catches the ball, maybe Leone pops up, but now all of a sudden you're into their hottest hitters. So you can't feel sorry for yourself. They don't. Learn that. When you're pitching, and yeah, you pitched a whale of a game, but again, you're only in the 6th inning. You get some bad luck.
Boy, Betts, that's the kind of year he's having at leadoff spot. He now has 34 RBIs, an 11-game hit streak for Mookie Betts. And more importantly for the Red Sox, runners on at first and second base, and still nobody out. And Holt coming up. He has drawn a walk, and he has grounded out.
Well, you got a lot of options if you're John Farrell and you're managing the Red Sox. You got Holt, who can handle a bat. It appears they're looking for the bunt.
Boy, Manny Machado's way in at third base. Norris has got a high average with runners in scoring position like Buchholz. Norris is at 318. Pitch on the way, not bunting. Holt took a big rip with the infield moving around. Hardy was heading over to third. They had the wheel on there, it looked like. They were going to send Hardy to third to cover to try and get that lead runner Leone at second base.
Well, he runs well for a catcher. You could see that. And then, of course, you have tremendous speed down at first. Mookie Betts, their leading base stealer.
Holt with the 4 for 9 lifetime off Bud Norris. And not bunting. That'll back Machado up, and it will give Norris a 2-strike count on Holt. So the Red Sox have tied it up. 4 hits for them, 7 for the Orioles. 1-1 ball game. There's Leone, and over at first base, Betts with that great speed. Outfield bunch to the middle against Holt. 2-strike count. He'll take the pitch away.
Yeah, they really do bunch him, and they give him the left field line, and it's a percentage baseball. And I think the reason you do that is that if the ball goes to the left of the left fielder, up the gap, everybody's going to score. Down the line, maybe it's a double, but the runner at first doesn't score. So you have a tendency to play maybe a little more in left center here at Fenway.
Pitch on the way. Holt takes it, and that just missed. Norris wanted a call on it, did not get it. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And you see Chris Davis coming over now. This is just a settling down thing, I think. Or does Chris need something? Chris is going to go all the way over to the dugout. He wants another glove. Did the play where he didn't handle the ball cleanly break the glove a little bit, or was it already broken before and he didn't know it?
Well, all the fingers and the webbing of the glove is rawhide, and it does break.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody out. Runners off first and second base, and that's going to be inside on a breaking ball. So it goes 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Everybody looking over to third. Brian Butterfield, whether or not runners are going to go here.
Well, Brock Holt walked his last time. Pedroia waiting on deck and tried to throw a fastball right by him to get the 2 strikes, and then try to throw him a slider, and he just laid off it.
3-2. Runners not going. Ground ball towards first. Holt slipped getting out of the box. Play will be made at the bag and record the out. But the runners are moved up, so it wasn't a bunt, but the same result as Holt has the productive at bat. 1 down. Now Dustin Pedroia. You've got first base open. You've got Ortiz waiting on deck. Pedroia's 0 for 2. So is Ortiz.
Yeah, you got Ramirez out of the game and Napoli behind him, who struck out 4 times. The amazing thing is Ortiz only hitting 150 with runners in scoring position. We talked about Pedroia below his lifetime average. Came in, what, 1 out of 4, 250 in these situations. But because of the scoreboard, you have your infield back.
Pedroia's had the hot bat. All right, let's see what Norris does with it here with only 1 away. Runners off second and third. Pedroia will let it go, and it will be outside for a ball. Again, Norris leaning in, hoping for a call.
Well, that looked like a strike. And that's why his knees buckled a little bit.
And he didn't look back. Pedroia is really hitting here at home. He's hit safely now in 16 consecutive games here at Fenway. 1-0 delivery to him, and again, as we saw him do last night, he had no intention of swinging no matter what.
Well, he did it earlier on. I think the last time up it was 3-0 when he did it.
So a 1-ball 1-strike count. Base hit here, and the Red Sox can go on top. Norris delivery to him. Pedroia fouls that one back. And Norris will get ahead of him. Ball and 2 strikes. Bud working here in this one. Rolling along. Faced the minimum through 3. Walk in the 4th. Broke that string. Gave up a couple of hits in the 5th inning, but got some real help on a hit and run that hit Ramirez, the runner. And then a double play ended the inning here in the 6th, though. Back in trouble. The error that started it, 2 singles.
Yeah, he doesn't strike out much. I mean, 38 times and 280 times. Struck out last night on the splitter. That's a pitch that Bud Norris doesn't have. But the account allows you, and you do have first base open, the account allows you to make your pitch. You can try to get him, entice him to swing at something out of the zone.
1-2. Pitch to Pedroia. He was leaning, looking for something away, and it was up and in. Leans back. 2-ball 2-strike count on Pedroia. Red Sox with a chance for a big inning. Orioles don't want that to happen, so they keep that infield defense way back. And the pitches, Norris trying to keep down. Here's the 2-2, and Pedroia's got a base hit into left field. Leon will score. Betts will score. A 2 RBI single, and the Red Sox lead it 3-1.
And Pedroia, I don't know if it's a cramp. Of course, I don't know if he hit the base a little bit, but he's grabbing his hamstring. And the important thing, not that hurting yourself is this right here. Slider down and away. You can see him go get it. And talked about Betts' speed. He's going to easily score to make it 3-1. So extra outs do the Orioles in here in the 6th inning.
Right there, you saw him as he came to a stop. Grab that hamstring, and he's going to have to come out of the ball game.
Well, you know, he missed a couple of games. I think Thursday and Friday with some knee problems. So the Red Sox certainly hope this is nothing serious, but anytime you're around the hamstring.
John Farrell, the misery continues. As though the overall season hasn't been enough. He's lost Ramirez tonight. Took a hard shot to the hand. Now Pedroia is coming out of the ball game, so he's got to take a look at the lineup card. Travis Shaw has come on to do the running for Pedroia, but the base hit by Pedroia is good for a couple of RBIs and a Red Sox lead. That's 33 runs batted in for Pedroia. And Buck Showalter had Dave Wallace go out to have a word with Norris, struggling to get through the inning. Still only 1 away. 3 runs in the inning. Here's David Ortiz, who has struck out and grounded out. Shaw on at first, shift, but at double play depth. Ortiz 0 for 6 so far in the 2 games, and the pitch taken away.
Yeah, it's very easy to let your emotions of the way this inning is unraveled to get the best of you. Nobody up in the bullpen. Pitch counted at 76.
Delivery to him, and that's going to be away. Count goes to 2-0. And the long inning gets a little bit longer for Bud Norris.
And then he tosses the ball in, and Ortiz catches it, and he gives him the look. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just that Buck, I mean, Bud, so what? You need to get outs.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
2-0 count. Pitch to him. Ball hit in the air, center field. Going back low. He's looking up. And goodbye home run to the deepest part of Fenway Park. David Ortiz, a 2 RBI homer. 5-1 Boston.
Well, we talked about being able to cheat as you get older. And right there, the count allows him to look for a fastball and then get it. And he really puts a charge. I mean, right down the middle. And this is a missile. It doesn't even have time to get much higher. And it didn't need to. A couple of feet over that. And you talked about, that's probably what, about 430 line drive.
Yep. So Ortiz gets his 2nd career home run off of Norris. Norris gives up his 7th of the year and a big inning. 5 runs in. Pitch will bounce away. Napoli getting his first at bat in the ball game. Ryan Mattis, left-hander in the bullpen for the Orioles. 5 runs, 6 hits for Boston, and Norris.
Yeah, well,
way out of
he's
way out of the ball game.
Somewhat
right now.
cooked here. And
still only 1 down. He'll go to the back, try and settle it down. Ortiz has his 3rd home run this year against the Orioles and the 46th of his career. 2-0 delivery on the way and a swing and a miss. Good pitch that had the downward movement away that time.
Yeah, really good slider. Well, these are the difficult times, and you know, you're pitching a whale of the game. Davis makes the error. You don't field a bunt. Books has a good at bat. Betts has a good at bat. Pedroia has a better at bat. And then you get behind Ortiz, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 5 spot. But the only way you can get out of the inning is to slow it down and center yourself. Not easy to do, though. And we're seeing that.
3-1 count. And we'll get that strike in there. So the count goes full to Mike Napoli. Napoli coming on to play at first base when Ramirez came out of the ball game in the 5th inning after being hit on that hit and run play. Napoli, golden sombrero last night, 4 strikeouts, and he adds another one right here. So Bud Norris will get his 3rd K, and there are 2 down. That'll bring up the 8th Red Sox to hit here in the 6th inning. Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts has hit into a double play. Had a base hit. He was the one who drove the ball that hit Ramirez on the hit and run and took Ramirez out of the game when it hit him in the hand. Bogaerts at 289 on the year will take the pitch inside for a ball.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with Bud Norris's stuff here in the 6th inning. You know, Pedroia hit a good pitch. Betts had a good at bat. Mistake to Ortiz, and extra outs against a team that has been scoring runs, which the Red Sox have, and that's how you get the big inning. Orioles did it last night. Red Sox have done it here in game number 2.
The year's series, the Orioles have been outscoring Boston 5.5 runs to 3.9 runs in the series. Red Sox are going to add that to this one. Got him to chase one down on a way and a 1-ball 2-strike count on another slider. So Norris a chance to get out of the inning and then hope that the Orioles in the 7th will be able to put something up on the board that would go to his favor. 1-2 delivery on ground ball. Tough play. Flaherty Not going to get it. Base hit Bogaerts.
Yeah, it just takes too long, and Bogaerts, for a big guy, he can run, he can scamper. And again, he hits so many balls the other way that he gets out of the box very quickly. So, I mean, and Ryan Flaherty makes a terrific play. It's just not in time.
So the night will come to an end for Norris. He will leave. He had been cruising along, pitching magnificent baseball. Little trouble in the fifth. The defense got him out of it. But in this inning, the defense gets him out of it. Ryan Mattis will come on with 2 down and a runner on.
Had a good fastball tonight. The one mistake to Ortiz got behind him. A couple of extra outs. Rolled into the sixth with a 1-0 lead, which is never saved. But now it's time for a little relief for your car too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes that help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube. Drive it in today. Ryan Mattis will come on.
Sandoval with a runner at first base goes after the first pitch for a strike.
And Brian has been pitching well. The suspension went down. In fact, talked to Scotty McGregor today, and velocity's gone up. The ability to command both sides have played a little bit better. 88 to 89, now 92. Maybe the break gave him a little bit extra.
That's there for a strike. Bogaerts on at first base. Bogaerts with the infield base hit. Sandoval's faced Mattis only once. He is 0 for 1. And as we've talked about, Sandoval hitting left-handed, righty or lefty on the mound. Mattis with the 0-2 delivery and a little roller. It'll be played at first. Davis will take it to the bag himself, and that's it. But the Red Sox bat around. They pick up 5 runs here in the 6th inning and take a 5-1 lead to the 7th.
highlights after Parmalee doubles. Chris Davis gets him in. Parmalee, great read. Betts with a good throw. 1-0 in a very, not much, but very short lead. And here come the Red Sox. Betts, that'll make it 1-1. And then Pedroia reaches out, hits the slider in the left. Couple of runs scored. Betts with great speed to make it 3-1. Pedroia will get hurt, lead the game. Ortiz hits a home run. And those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
And we go to the 7th inning. Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty is hit into a double play and a single. How about Holt? He started at first, went to left, now he's at second. And Shaw has gone out to left field. That's how versatile Holt is, in addition to being an outstanding hitter. He's played 3 positions in this game. Pitch will come inside and bounce off the glove of Leon. Orioles will take any free pass they can get here. Buchholz has walked only 1. He has struck out 6. All of the runs are unearned against Bud Norris. 5 runs, none earned. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits.
Yeah,
so
well,
Buchholz a chance to be a winner now.
Yeah, and we talked about early on. Low ERA at 3.87, but they only get him 3.45 runs a game. That number's gone up. And he hangs around and pitches again only the 1 run to this point.
Delivery, foul back.
You're kind of hoping if you're the Orioles that maybe getting those runs will lessen his ability to make the pitches he's been making all night long.
He's up there at 89, gets through the 7th. He'll have given John Farrell what he'd hoped for, and he may go further than that. Flaherty, Joseph, Lowe are due up against him. The ball left field corner. Going back is Shaw. He's not going to get it. It'll take a hit off the base of the wall. Going into second base, Flaherty, and he's on again. 2 for 3 in the ball game, and Ryan Flaherty starts it out with a double.
Well, Travis Shaw is a first baseman, and he played in the outfield down at AAA Pawtucket, and he did not get a read on it. I mean, if this was Hanley Ramirez, he wasn't going to catch it either. I mean, nice at bat, fastball, set it down, is up. He goes, oh, it's off the wall. Well, it didn't get off the wall. He hesitated a little bit. Meanwhile, Ryan Flaherty says thank you very much.
Flaherty's got a single double.
Yeah, I got to imagine Fenway, it looks so simple to play here. I mean, because the wall is so close, but it's not. Hard to get reads. You don't know about depth. Is the ball going to hit the wall? Do I turn around and play it off the wall? And that ball is hard. I mean, the one to left center, the center fielder is always going to back you up, but not an easy place to play.
Caleb Joseph, the Orioles 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight. Joseph has struck out, flied out. That one fouled off, and that took a piece of Leon. The Red Sox cannot afford to lose anybody else. They don't have anybody left. Pedroia and Ramirez have already gone out of the ball game. Napoli and Shaw have had to come on to play. John Farrell's got Eric Kratz, a backup catcher, available, and an injured Blake Swihart, their starting catcher. That's it. That's what he's got on the bench right now. And a swing and a miss. Tag would have been put on, but he walks away and doesn't need to do it. So a strikeout, and that'll be number 7 in the game for Buchholz.
Yeah, when he gets ahead, again, he just don't know what's coming. This is a changeup. It bounces. Obviously, Caleb Joseph doesn't read it. Great arm action. I'll tell you, that number, that 109 batting average doesn't lie, does it?
No. Well, that motion he has with that changeup, it looks like he's going to heave a discus. And it ends up being a pillow. Here's David Lowe. Runner still on at second base. And the pitch at 75 is in there for a strike, breaking ball.
What was that great Olympian with Dallas Long? Didn't he do the shot put and the discus?
And the discus. Lowe has struck out twice in the ball game. 1 down, runner on at second base. Flaherty gets a good secondary lead out there, and that'll be pumped foul. We will be back with you tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow's a day game now. Miguel Gonzalez will return for the Orioles. Eduardo Rodriguez will return for the Red Sox, the former Oriole, and we'll be on the air 1 o'clock for O's Extra, 1:30 for the game. Gonzalez and Rodriguez.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little matchup.
Another roster change.
Could be, yes, exactly. Trying to think. It could be Michael
Gibbons.
Yeah, Michael Gibbons. You did the interview with, young man out of Tampa.
He may get in this ball game.
Well, this is one of those games. In fact, Showalter did say wanted to see him pitch it at least an inning, and got the wow factor, the 97-mile-per-hour fastball with so his time may be coming.
Debut may be at hand. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Buchholz at 96 pitches. Red Sox bullpen is active.
Yeah, 72% of those for strikes. High percentage.
1-2 delivery on the way. Chopper down to first base. And it'll be taken to the bag by Napoli to record the out. Flaherty will move over to third base. 2 down. Inichi Tazawa for the Red Sox. Top of the order, Manny Machado coming up. Machado's had a base hit, robbed of another by Sandoval. 1 for 3 in the ball game. 6-game hit streak going for him. Talking about the article that CBS Sports did on him, they were talking about the ultimate zone rating, about runs saved. He's at 47.1 since coming to the major league level. There's nobody even remotely close, not even Josh Donaldson. Donaldson's at 35 in that zone rating for runs saved. And everything about Manny has improved this season. His OPS has gone from 104 to 142 so far this year. His strikeouts are down. His walks are up. Fly balls, line drives are up. And he's hitting the ball harder than any of the previous seasons. His hard balls hit is at a career high right now, and his swinging strike rate is at a career low.
Yeah, much more at bats, healthy. We touched on that last night. The ability to hit the ball all over the field. We saw that last night, double off the wall, line to line, drive down the right field line.
And a shot, but right at short, and Bogarts makes the catch and says a prayer that he's able to get back up again. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. 7th inning stretch time. Red Sox up by 4.
Time brought to you by a Miller Lite. So 1-0, and right here a nice little hit and run, but Ramirez gets hit, doesn't look, right on the left hand, has to leave the game. Orioles get out of that inning, and then right here 1-1 ball game. Pedroia pokes a slider into left, and then coming around first base after the Red Sox take a 3-1 lead. I don't know if it's a cramp, pulled the hamstring, whatever, but has to leave the game. That is your Miller Lite moment.
So the Orioles will have Brian Mattis remaining on the mound after the Red Sox batted around in that 6th inning. Came on to get the final out. Alejandro De Aza. And De Aza will take the pitch up high. Started that inning in the 6th on an error charged on Chris Davis on a bobble ball. That's how the inning started. A pass ball moved him down to 2nd, and then the Red Sox were off and running. 5 runs, none earned on 5 hits. Pitch is going to miss by Mattis, a little bit outside, and a 2-0 count on Alejandro De Aza.
Yeah, 2 years ago he had lefties at 300. Last year it was right around 200, and I said, can you hit lefties? He says, well, when they let me play. He's playing tonight.
And the ball will be fouled back. And careful what you wish for.
Well, his point was that when he played with the White Sox last year until he came over to the Orioles, and he played pretty much every day for the O's, he really wasn't playing that much against lefties, and if he started against righties, then they'd go to the left-handed specialist. And as you know, some of those guys are pretty good.
2 ball, 1 strike count. De Aza will take it. That's on the inside corner. So Brian Mattis evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That'll move the infield fully around and move Manny Machado rather way back. 2-2 delivery. De Aza on a check swing. They'll tag him, and he didn't go around. Third base umpire Tim Timmons said nope.
Yeah, Brian kind of got the ball and took a look at him. I thought he swung. I mean, you could hit a double with that swing.
The biggest unknown in Major League Baseball. When a check swing is a strike. Here's the 3-2 pitch by Brian Mattis, and another one fouled off into the seats.
Yeah, you always obviously go to the other umpire that has a look. And all they should be looking at is not how your wrist is, it's just how far the bat traveled. But they all have, just like they have different strike zones, they have a different version on how far that bat did travel.
And that hit him. Oh, man. Now De Aza's down for the 2nd time. He got his hand stepped on that play at first base the last time up. Now he gets hit by a pitch. Farrell's getting tired of coming out with the trainer. That one is on the left hand.
Yeah, just trying to throw a strike. Just to get to the bottom of that left forehand. At least it didn't get the hand. At least I don't think it did. Yeah, right up there below the wrist.
Will he be able to stay in the ball game? Becomes the ongoing question for the Red Sox, and it looks like he will. It's been a tough night for Alejandro De Aza.
Patriots don't get as hurt as often as the Red Sox do.
3rd time De Aza has been hit by a pitch this season for Brian Mattis. That'll be the 3rd batter he's hit. So the leadoff man is on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Leon coming up. Sandy Leon a single, and he is struck out. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Boston. 1 run, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Orioles. All 5 runs of the Red Sox are unearned. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. That'll turn Leon away. He got his base hit in the 6th and scored. He is their leader, as we said, at sacrifice bunt, so he looks to Butterfield down to 3rd, their coach. De Aza with good speed at first. Fouls it off.
So the bunt that he laid down was scored as a hit. I guess it would have been the way Bud Norris played it. I mean, he just didn't reach
never
for
touched
it.
it.
Yeah,
Right?
never touched
Not
it.
that makes all the difference. You can still have an arrow without touching it, but with his speed, the official score believing even if he handled it, they wouldn't have had him. 0-2 count, and again.
Wow.
He's tried to clean out both dugouts. First his own, now the Orioles.
Well, Buck Showalter was talking today. He said Miguel Gonzalez is going to pitch tomorrow, and sitting over there, and the ball actually hit the netting and then his ankle. And he said it's such and I used to sit there before they had the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very confined space. And when you're diving out of the way, you usually dive it into one of your teammates.
Oh, 1 ball, 2 strike count. The Orioles have named the starters. We said Gonzalez tomorrow against Rodriguez. Then when the Orioles go home Friday, Wei and Chen comes back. Corey Kluber, Chris Tillman, Corey Anderson on Saturday, Ubaldo Jimenez, Trevor Bauer on Sunday. That ball is fouled the other way and out of play. So again, the roster moves for the Orioles will continue tomorrow and Friday, with Gonzalez and Wei and Chen getting back into the rotation. 1 ball, 2 strike count. There's Ubaldo Jimenez, who has pitched well for the Orioles, even though he got only 5 innings in. He had strikeouts and held Boston down in the opener. And Brian Mattis will miss outside with it. Mattis's 4th game against the Red Sox this year. No runs, 1 hit, 2 innings. They issued 4 walks and hadn't struck anybody out in his other appearances. Runner off first, De Aza, and a swing and a miss. And there's the first out of the 7th.
Yeah, nice. This, and I don't know what happened. And, you get I guess through osmosis, he pitched some minor league innings down when he was suspended for the 8 games. But the velocity's gone up. I mean, looks like he's staying behind his pitches better, and able to pitch to both sides of the plate, which is something they wanted him to be able to do the last couple of years. Some of the things he used to be able to do when he started.
Mookie Betts is going to face him for the first time. Betts had the RBI base hit in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Now has an 11-game hit streak, and will take the pitch up high for a ball. Betts with the 11-game hit streak, 3rd in the active streak going. Jason Kipnis of Cleveland, Billy Burns of Oakland were the top 2 coming into today's play. 1-0 count. And that he swung at. Home plate umpire makes the call on it. Todd Tichenor did not have to ask for help on that, and a 1-1 count. Fastball will miss up high. Holt waiting on deck.
We saw Mookie come up last year, hit a home run in Canton Yards against the Orioles, and I said, boy, what a quick bat. Outstanding spring, and then struggled. And now all of a sudden everything's changed. Batting average over like the last 20+ games up by 50 points.
And Mattis will get the strike on the outside corner. As we mentioned last night, Mookie Betts has become a much more aggressive hitter here in the month of June, taking far fewer pitches, going after more first pitch strikes, as are a lot of the Red Sox players. 2-2 delivery on the way, and punches that one foul. Had to reach for it. Mattis had him protecting 2-2.
I asked his hitting instructor, Chili Davis, I said, so what happened early? And he said, well, it's always tough to hit up here. And he said, they're in tremendous height. Had such a good spring. I mean, look at the numbers right there. I mean, 373 versus the 200s. And he said he's a very quiet kid. Doesn't like to do interviews. Just wants to come play.
2-2 in the air. Hit it on the button, but right at low. David will haul it in. Runners got to go back. Neaza will retake first. On Tuesday, when the Orioles face the Rangers 7:05, all fans are going to receive the Bud Norris designed My Home, My Team Orioles t-shirt. Next in the player design t-shirt series. Celebrate your home team with this great Orioles collectible. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. 2 down, 1 on. 7th inning. It's 5-1 lead for the Red Sox. Holt 0 for 2 and a walk, looking for his first hit in this series. He's 0 for 6, and he'll foul it off the other way. Look out. Holt ripping at the left-hander's delivery and slicing it the other way.
Well, really, as you mentioned, he can play everywhere. Over 300 against lefties and righties. Run, bunt, perfect utility player that can play everywhere, so you can rest your regulars, and he can become one of them.
He's got a 1 for 3 off Ryan Matus. Matus throttled back a little bit, does not get the call on it. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Holt.
Yeah, it's so easy to see because we're so high here at Fenway Park, but Brian, against lefties, he moves over to the first base side. Against righties, he moves over to the third base side to get a little bit better angle.
And that one stopped. Joseph makes sure De Aza stays where he is, and he does.
But the one thing as a former pitcher that I noticed, the reason that Brock Holt's tough to get out is, number one, he makes you throw the ball over the plate, and number two, he uses the whole field. He's not a home run guy. He can hit home runs, but if you pitch him away, he'll take it that way.
2-1 delivery on the way, pops him up. Big pop up third base. Machado in foul territory will put it away. Holt's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We've completed 7 at Fenway with the Red Sox leading at 5-1.
Yeah, Clay Buchholz, boy, has he mixed up his pitches in and out and up and down, and had a little bit, tracked a little bit. So again, never comfortable. Only the 1 run, and that was the double by Parmalee, the single by Davis in the 6th inning. So again, a few less fastballs, more change-ups. I told you, came in with what, the second best, lowest batting average on a changeup, 109, and used that pitch tonight very effectively. And then he will leave again, very efficient. Tazawa comes on. The changeup is the splitter. Got a nice curveball and slider, and then the fastball, 90 maybe to 94 miles per hour. So again, it's usually a guy you can depend on, and he's given up 11 runs, 10 of them earned, but lately he's struggled a little bit. 7 of those runs in the last 4 games. You can look at the numbers. Not a lot of home runs, throws a lot of strikes. Righties, because of the splitter, tough to really do much. A little over 200.
Orioles will bat as we go to the 8th against Tazawa. Chris Parmalee up. He scored the only run that came in the 6th inning. He led with a double. Davis got the RBI base hit. And Yunichi Tazawa's pitch will be fouled back, and he was pretty much on that one. So for a first look here tonight, it was a pretty good swing by Parmalee. Parmalee has seen Tazawa only once, 0 for 1.
Yeah, you get rid of Buchholz in that changeup, so you might get maybe even though Buchholz did hit 93 on one occasion, maybe a little harder thrower, but there's the splitter or the changeup, at least acts as that.
At stake for the Orioles, a 3-game win streak they have going, a 6-game win streak against the Red Sox, and they, of course, have a chance in this game to guarantee themselves another series win. Otherwise, a rubber match for the day game tomorrow. 1-1 delivery on the way by Tazawa, and a big cut, and not going to get that one.
Yeah, there's a splitter, and well, you get one fastball to hit. That was strike one, and then he's going to start messing with you. Well, Koji Uehara, the Orioles did get to him early, but he's straightened down, and his velocity's gone up, and so he's their closer.
1-2 pitch on the way. Miss up high with it. So the game set up the way the Red Sox would have wanted it. Buchholz going the 7th. Get your setup man in the 8th. Have your closer if you need him in the 9th inning, or if the score stays as it is, you might have Yunichi Tazawa or someone else come in. We'll see what happens. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one foul back. Trying to time that hesitation. Red Sox have lost 2 players tonight. We've not had updates. Dustin Pedroia left 6th inning, appeared to be a hamstring on a base hit, 2 RBIs. Ramirez left in the 5th inning, hit in the hand on a line drive and a hit and run, and it was hard onto the hand off the bat of Bogarts. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And that's it. He got it.
Yeah, perfect pitch. 94 on the outside corner. Boy, if you can draw it up right here, this is what you live for. I mean, again, nicely presented to the home plate umpire. The term you use is on the black.
Yes. Even though the black is now buried in dirt,
yeah,
it's still there.
Well, remember John McSherry, the late National League umpire, used to actually take a little implement or something, yeah, and carve it out and uncover it.
Yeah. Because there is a black part of the, yeah, plate at an angle down into the dirt.
And aim for that, boys, because I'll call it.
Brady's up. He will take the pitch.
Well, that's why you can, the plate is 17 inches wide, and I'm not going to count. Maybe the black would give it a little bit, but see, it's below the dirt. But again, if you take a baseball that's a little over 2 inches wide, you can make that plate about 21 inches, because all the edge has to do is be on it. If you got an umpire cooperating with you, I mean,
from a pitcher's perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what drives hitters crazy, I mean, Chili Davis was talking about, he said, I didn't care about up and down, just make them throw it over the plate. And we saw last night, Holt got called out on a ball maybe 3-4 inches off the outside corner.
Brady's a couple of singles in the ball game. Will take that bouncer. We've been told now on Pedroia it is a hamstring tightness. So not a strain, not a sprain. At least that's not what they're saying. So hopefully that's all that is on Dustin. And Ramirez, we do not have a report on. Whatever happens, it looks like they only need to make a roster change tomorrow, one would think, or you just play with 2 guys who can't play. That would be tough if that's the case. Here's the 1-2 delivery by Tazawa. Just missed.
Now you can see when he gets his rest, his velocity can get up into the mid-90s. Go in and out, and then the splitter in his back pocket anytime he wants to throw it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Orioles just 1 for 4, runners in scoring position, 2 for 3 for Boston. That's how tough the pitching's been. Swing and a miss, kept it down and away.
Yeah, the splitter, that's it. Again, when you throw 94, 95, you want to be quick, want to make sure you get the bat to the ball, and then the splitter looks like that same fastball, but it, when thrown properly, dive bombs right out of the zone. Easy to swing and miss it.
Tazawa's 6th game against the Orioles. He has given up a run on 3 hits, no walks. He now has 6 strikeouts against the O's, and this is his 6th appearance of the year. Here is Chris Davis. Shift put on against Chris. A lone RBI, his base hit, 6th inning. He is 1 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. Orioles, of course, who've been scoring a lot of runs, have not been held to 1 run very often of late, or in the year for that matter.
Yeah, you got to go back to that Philadelphia game.
Philadelphia was 2-1, and there is Michael Givens as expected. chance to make his major league debut. Looks like will happen in this ball game.
Yeah, Don Cheedy, bullpen coach, saying, "Okay, take a deep breath. It's not overthrow," which is easy to do when you can throw 97.
Good sign he's smiling. Whether that's all nervousness or not, we're not sure. Davis, the 0-2 delivery to him, and a swing and a miss. Inichi Tozawa strikes the side out. When we come back, a major league debut. Michael Gibbons. Going to the bottom half of the 8th inning, but for the Orioles, special moment.
Yeah, our AT&T call the pen. AT&T, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And Gibbons is going to come in and try to immobilize the Red Sox. Hard thrower, breaking ball, slider. There are his numbers at Double-A. Can you throw it over? Yes, he did. Look at the strikeouts in 39 and a third innings, 54 strikeouts, walks down, something he's been working on it. And then 14 save opportunities, 12 of them successful. Well, here you go. It's got to start somewhere.
24 years old, former position player. 2010, 11 and 12. He played positionally, converted in 2013 at Delmarva to a pitcher. Pitched to Delmarva and Frederick in 13. Bowie and Frederick in 2014, and was at Bowie before being called up here. Now his major league debut. He gets a swinging strike from Travis Shaw. Shaw will get his first at bat, taking the place of Pedroia in the lineup in the 3 spot. Showalter will watch with great interest here. That'll be hit into the shift. Flaherty will make the play. And one away here in the 8th. Take a look at our Lexus drive of the game. David Ortiz earlier.
Yeah, this time it's 3-1 and then 2-0. You know, it's kind of unraveling. Couple extra outs. Error by Davis. Norris doesn't field a bunt, and then a bullet. Home run number 11. All of them against right-handed pitching. Really changed this game around.
Our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at LexusofTowson.com. Ortiz has also struck out, grounded up. He will take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike.
Well, Ortiz does have 5 home runs in the month of June.
No question the pace is picking up for him. Good numbers against the right-handers, not against the lefties.
Well, I would have think, you know, obviously, if you're the Red Sox and you come in tonight, I mean, you're 31 and 42. If you win, you'll They dropped to 9 games under 500. You got to get back to 500. Hope that everybody kind of stays where they are, which is not running away from the American League East. But how long can you go with somebody that's not hitting left-handed pitching? And that would make, I mean, he's been so instrumental in their 3 World Championships.
I agree. Yeah, and I think it's already started. Down to first. That'll be handled by Davis. Givens will get over to cover, but Davis will go to the back. And there are 2 down. So Givens retires the first 2 he faces at the major leagues. Follow the Orioles wherever you are with MLB.com at bat. #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment. At any moment, in-game highlights. You get radio broadcasts, live look-ins, in-game stats. And you can get it at MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Givens, 25 years old, lives in Tampa. Opportunity here, up from AA. Always had the solid arm. Came back, he was telling me in the interview we did with him, Napoli's up, came back from the injury, and told by the organization, look, it's not going too well positionally. You got a great arm, why don't you try it? So he did.
Yeah, and Brian Graham, running the minor leagues, said, hey, I'm not sure you're going to make it as a positional player, too inconsistent. He talked about that when you interviewed him yesterday, but why don't you give it a try? And very much like Pedro Strop, who pitched for the Orioles for a couple of years, acquired from the Rangers. I mean, he's got a good arm, and you know, it looks like he's got movement. And there is the closer, Koji Uehara. Even though it's a 4-run lead, get him some work. He pitched on Sunday, gave up a couple of runs.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. Congratulations. Michael Givens is now in the Major League record books. His Major League debut. He retires the side in order. 5-1 Red Sox. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by your local BMW centers. Oh, here at Fenway, a 5-1 lead. Adam Jones again out of the lineup. Whether he will play tomorrow remains day to day, but he has been out 5 of the last 7 games. He thinks he'll play Friday.
Koji comes in, turned 40 in April. You can see a lot of the changeup is a splitter. Loves it. Fastball velocity about 87. Splitter somewhere in the maybe 78 with great drop. Kind of jumps at you, so 87 looks a little bit quicker. Doesn't walk a whole lot of people. You can see righties hitting him a lot better. 14 out of 16 when it comes to saving, and then this is not a save situation. He got in a 13 run game on Sunday some work, gave up a couple of runs. So ERA low at 180 in save situations, over almost 7 runs a game when he comes in these situations.
J.J. Hardy will lead it off for the Orioles here in the 9th inning. Hardy has taken an 0 for 3, so he is 2 for 7 in the series. He's only had 1 hit, 8 at bats against Koji Uehara. For Buck Holtz, he went 7, gave up a run on 8 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. their pitcher of record. Yunichi Tozawa, an inning, struck out the side. The Orioles, Bud Norris went 5 2/3, 5 runs, all unearned on 7 hits, with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Brian Mattis worked an inning and a third, had a strikeout. Givens came on and retired the side in order. Now we'll see here in the top of the 9th if the Orioles can extend this ball game. 2-1 delivery, foul tipped into the mitt, 2-2.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter the count. He's going to throw the splitter. Implicit trust in it. Came to the United States, was a starting pitcher for the Orioles. 2009, 12 starts.
That'll go to third. Sandoval.
Yeah, he's thrown to a different first baseman on a couple of occasions tonight.
Napoli over there now.
Yeah,
Join us again tomorrow. Morrow's action. Miguel Gonzalez on the mound against Eduardo Rodriguez. Our coverage on MASN at 1. O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 1:30. All the access you need right here on MASN. Day game tomorrow. Here's Travis Snyder. Snyder a 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts. 0 for 2 off Guajara.
Koji going down to Texas. There's David Ortiz with a 2-run home run. He was traded to Texas in 2011, and Tommy Hunter and Chris Davis came in that trade. It was all Darren O'Day's fault because he hurt his hip. I mean, really, if you think about it, yeah, Darren gets hurt. They're going to the postseason. They needed a right-handed guy that could help in the bullpen, and that was Koji Uehara. And then Buck Showalter, who had come out of the Ranger organization, says, kind of like that Darren O'Day guy. Let's sign him, and they did.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Ducks ball club able to push across 1 run. RBI base hit Davis after a Parmalee leadoff double. That was in the 6th. Red Sox have had only 1 inning. There's Darren in the middle there. Could be a show. Darren in the middle. 5 unearned runs on 5 hits in the 6th inning. As the Orioles, big error at first base. Chris Davis on an opening error that started the inning. Bud Norris misplayed a ball. Same inning. It kept it going. Wasn't an error. That'll go to second, and it'll be handled by Holt.
Yeah, actually, Travis Snyder has a pretty good pass at it.
I was looking. Do you know Holt has started at every position except pitcher and catcher this year already?
Oh yeah, 7
started. So Holt, I mean, and still been able to produce some big offensive numbers for them.
Well, I asked him in Baltimore. I said, "You played shortstop and you played it well." He said, "Well, yeah, I played a lot of shortstop." I thought he was more of a utility guy, you know, outfield and second base, but no, the shortstop's not the easiest position to play. Longer throws and maybe a little bit more range. He's jack of all trades, and he plays them well too.
Yes, he does. He's very good.
I mean, one of the critical plays is the ball he knocked down and turned into a double play early in the game off the Buckles. When he's playing first base.
Yep. Ryan Flaherty up. He is doubled, singled, hit into a double play. 2 down, 9th inning. Red Sox have the 5-1 lead. 0-2 count on Ryan. And the Red Sox trying to set up a rubber match tomorrow. We'll do just that. So the relievers, Yunichi Tozawa and Koji Uehara, come on to retire all 6 batters that they face. Buchholz gets the win, 5-6. Norris the loser. He is 2-6. No save here.